Alright, Brandon Moreno versus Davison Figueiredo, round 3. It's a very interesting fight. Personally, I'm going against the grain here. I think Deus de Guerra, God of War, Davison Figueiredo is going to pull this one out. And I say this because the biggest weakness in his last fight that we saw, in addition to the Moreno jab, which is an easy fix relatively, was the grappling. At the end of the day, Brandon Moreno got the submission, the rear naked choke victory against Deus de Guerra. With Deus de Guerra training with Henry Cejudo and his exquisite grappling, I believe that will be less of a problem than it is now. Maybe it's not entirely solved, but I believe it will be much less of a problem than it was in the second match. With this match, why I'm picking the God of War, is because I believe his striking is ultimately better, than Brandon Moreno. I believe in the second fight we saw a phenomenal version of Brandon Moreno, and we saw a much depleted, much weaker version of Davison Figueiredo that we were used to seeing. I don't know about you, but me personally, when I saw that fight, I was happy for Brandon Moreno, but I didn't really think that was the usual God of War that we were used to seeing, as evidenced by the fact, whereas in the first fight it was such a closely contested contest, and it was a brawl battle. It was crazy. It was back and forth. They were winning round after round, back, not necessarily back to back. The tides of competition were shifting and quickly, and it was a much different fight from the utter domination that Brandon Moreno had in the second fight. And I personally attribute that to the weight cut that Deus de Guerra had to undertake. It seems as if, based on his pictures now, that the weight cut is no longer as significant a problem as it was in the second fight. I'm not making excuses for the God of War, but personally, I think you can agree the first fight and the second fight were way different. It's not like it started off like that, and then all of a sudden Brandon Moreno took control. Brandon Moreno had control from the start, and that's not what I expected, and I don't think that's what you expected either. And I don't expect that in this third fight, especially with Brandon Moreno being as motivated as he is. And I think he's very motivated, because as jubilant and jovial as he was for Brandon Moreno winning the title, lifting him up and all that, I think he's going to come in with a very different attitude this third fight. I think he's thinking more about himself rather than Brandon Moreno, the first Mexican champion, winning the belt. I think he's going to come in hard, fast, and dangerous. And I think his enhanced takedown defense, learned from Henry Cejudo, and his enhanced grappling in general, and counter grappling to that extent, learned in Henry Cejudo's camp, going to come in handy. I think he's going to keep it on the feet. Even if he gets taken down, he's going to get right back up on his feet relatively quickly. And personally, I hate to be the rainer of parades, but I think the God of War is going to win. I think he's going to TKO Brandon Moreno. I didn't know if I was going to say it, if it was going to be a decision, or if I was going to say a TKO, but personally, the most correct, in my opinion, the most logical thing that I see is a TKO by the God of War. We saw that Brandon Moreno could take a lot of punishment, which made me hesitant to say that it would be a TKO or a KO or anything like that. To anything other than a decision for Brandon Moreno or Deus de Guerra. But I just think that the power that the God of War has and his newfound motivation, coupled with his increased grappling-centric camp under Henry Cejudo, will lead him to favor in the rematch. And I think, and I'm going against the grain a little bit here, I think Deus de Guerra lands a clean shot in round 3 that stumbles Brandon, and maybe it doesn't put him out, but it ends the fight.